Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, also known as the Lashawan Quadash, Yahweh, meaning He is, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation, who the world English calls Jesus, a so-called black man. Okay, and this is just a little update on the, the thing that's being talked about and being observed from a distance as the time being, but could potentially grow to concern causes, okay? And this is a little news clip that we're going to play from the, syndicate TV show CBS Morning, and this is for educational purposes only. For educational purposes only, okay? Fair use, all right? And we're going to go into it, and we're going to get a few precepts after it's all said and done. But there's one particular part that I want to, expound upon and go into, okay? So we're gonna let the clip play, and then we're gonna pause it at that precise moment, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit before we go on and let the rest of the clip play out to get the precepts, all right? Listen up.
There are new fears in this country about the potential impact of the H5N1 bird flu on humans. After it first jumped to dairy cows back in March, the virus has now spread among dairy cattle across 9 different states. A Texas dairy worker developed mild symptoms of the disease. We're happy to say they've recovered. Our chief medical correspondent, that's Dr. John LaPook, has been speaking with the experts and joins us now. John, a lot of people getting worried, so glad you're here.
And good morning, Gail. Public health officials are closely monitoring for any signs H5N1 is mutating into a form that could spread from human to human. There's no evidence that has happened yet, but that's the big concern. The outbreak has raised questions about our ability to do enough testing to understand how widely the infection is spreading. And keep in mind, it's tough to coordinate efforts with so many groups involved, including the CDC, the FDA, dairy and cattle industry, and more. So why the concern about a possible jump to humans? I spoke to one of the top bird flu experts, Dr. Jerry Parker, a veterinarian at Texas A&M. And he told me he never envisioned a scenario where the virus would make the jump to cows. That was something nobody imagined?
I didn't. I have to admit that. And I don't think our colleagues at the national state level did, and they should have. We fundamentally did not have a response plan and playbook for how to deal with H5N1 getting into dairy cattle. And I think that's slowed our response and has caused confusion.
One big fear is that a pig or some other animal could become infected with both the human and bird flu, and that could cause a mixing of genes that produces a new virus capable of spreading easily from human to human.
And there it is. You have it. You heard it right out of Esau Edom's mouth, firsthand. And that's the, fear that's causing people to be concerned, okay? They fear that this thing could jump, and take off from a splice, mutation of a gene from an animal that can carry both the, strand from the bird and the human and passes it on to the human. And now that strand can be transmissible from human to human. And you notice the animal that he said could potentially be the culprit, okay? Which is an unclean animal, okay? The pig, all right? The swine, okay? So we could very much well be seeing the, beginnings or the works to be put into effect for another, you know what it is, like Akon say. You know the song I'm talking about, Locked Up, okay? But instead of up, the other way around, okay? So, hey, keep your eye out, keep vigilant, okay? Because this man, he has, so many things that he can use to bring forth his agenda, okay? And using this as a transmissible, pathogen to jump from, people to people. Got to be careful what you say and how you say it, because you can get hit. But, you seen it and you heard it, okay? So let's go ahead and let the rest of this clip play out, And then let's get a couple of precepts and expound upon that. All right.
Epidemiologist Dr. Larry Brilliant has worked in public health since helping to eradicate smallpox in the 1970s. I asked him, is there enough testing going on to find out how widely bird flu has already spread?
No. They should activate every surveillance system that would help them find out which animals are sick. They should use wastewater. They should be checking the water in bilges of ships and bilges of airplanes. And here's a good reason to do it. We have antivirals. We have treatments. We can make a vaccine very quickly.
Well, John, nothing we just heard there is very comforting to me. What's being done to increase the testing?
You know, it turns out that poultry farmers are reimbursed for financial loss related to bird flu. There's an insurance policy. That's not true with cattle ranchers. And in addition to that, there are a variety of reasons why people working there, various workers, may not want to get tested. So I've heard that the USDA and the CDC are working on a plan to incentivize more testing.
So how worried should we be right now?
Right now is
Yeah.
the key word. You know,
Yeah.
Last night, the CDC told me, and they gave me the latest, unless you're in close contact with potentially infected animals or you're drinking unpasteurized milk, the risk to you right now is very low. But remember, things can change. We've learned, unfortunately, from the pandemic.
Yes.
I know this
And they
pandemic.
seem to change
Yes.
quickly,
They can,
too, John.
especially with viruses,
Emphasis
they
on
can mutate
right now.
They can now. They can mutate. They can change. We've seen that happen, and that is why there's such concern among public health officials and others, and why the CDC and others are really trying to stay on top of this.
Yeah, because first it was just one, and now it's moved to 9 states, and it just seems like it can turn on a dime.
But only
So I'm wondering, at what
1%.
point do you get worried? You're
Yeah.
saying, don't worry, we're.
I'll tell you.
Today.
I'll tell you what.
Today.
No, the worry would be if it changes in mutations, genetic composition, so that it can spread easily from human to human.
Right now,
And that's what the cause of concern is. The, genetic mutation for it to be, spread among human to human, okay? And make no mistake about it, if you don't believe Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is doing a diligent research and, coming up with ways to splice up genes to, put it in animals for consumption, either, by the way of, eating or drinking or coming in close contact to the point where it can be, transmissible and spread it to another, organism, primarily a human being, then you sadly mistaken, okay? You don't know who you're dealing with, all right? This is what he does, okay? And we're going to go and get that in precepts, all right? So just continue to stay vigilant and beware.
there's been no evidence
If
of
it's
that.
no evidence of that, there's one human got a
But he got
relatively
sick.
mild infection.
Yeah.
He had conjunctivitis. He was given Tamiflu. He recovered. But that's what people are looking for, and we don't want it to happen without us realizing. If you do this, you don't know what's going on. You got to do this and say, what is going on? Where is it? How widely is it spread?
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right. And we know and, understand that this man, he comes up with these type of scenarios to, run and play. And then he, comes forth and bring forth his agenda. OK, so unless Satan should get an advantage of us, and how is he going to get an advantage of us for, from us not being aware or doing our, due diligence and, doing the research and watching. OK, that's why we close out with be sober, be vigilant, because you have to continue to watch this devil. All right. You cannot let your guard down. Anything that raises the antenna, you got to do your research on it. OK, and the fact that, this news anchor, this slash, how should I say? I don't know if he's a professional, but, he seems to have somewhat of, knowledge on this, matter. And he's saying that, if there's a animal per se that could be both capable of transmitting or receiving both that of the bird, pestilence and of a human, then they can be transmissible, okay, and spread it to a human. Now, in the beginning, they was just showing you cases of one state, primarily Texas, but now it has jumped to 9 states, and they tell you, watch out for, non-pasteurized milk or dairy products, okay? Because why? That allows the, the pestilence, I'm using that word pestilence as opposed to the other word, allows that pestilence to, be more active into your, your eternal organs. Okay, so if you drink, affected, dairy products or eat dairy products, you are more prone to, having these symptoms. Okay, that's why they say, it's better for you to get pasteurized, because they say the pasteurized milk or dairy products, that kills all the bacteria. So we're going to keep, a watch and see how things go. But, hey, whatever this, devil want to use to bring forth his agenda or to help aid in bringing forth his agenda, we have to be prepared. We have to be ready, okay? Because we all know it can go down at the blink of an eye. So it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So if he want to splice and mutate, some type of, gene or mutation to allow it to be more transmissible between or amongst humans to humans, hey, so be it, okay? We not worried. We are rooted in this truth, okay? We have faith in this truth that the Most High, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, is going to look out for us and take care of us, okay? It's only those that don't, that is going to have to worry about it. So this is the book of Micah, chapter 2, and verse 1. Slakia. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And this is the only thing they can do. This is what they were hired for. This is what they excel in, wickedness, okay? This is what they, get off on, okay? Bringing forth these type of, calamities to the earth, man, so that they can, bring forth their hidden agenda, okay? This is what they do. They work iniquities. They practice it. They go to sleep thinking about it, okay? They what? It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. So they go to sleep thinking about it. They wake up in the morning thinking about it, okay? They can't get right. It's in their genes, okay? It's in their spirit. This is the wicked. It says what? When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. That's right. The Most High made them out to be the wicked, okay? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, okay? So, you trying to change or believe that any other thing outside of the outcome which is written in the Bible isn't true, you're going to be sadly mistaken, okay? So, whether they use this or not, it's just a, alarm being sound to keep your ears and eyes open. Don't let your guard down. This man is not to be trusted, okay? Never trust thy enemy. Okay, I believe that's in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12. Okay, right around verse 10, I believe. So, never trust thy enemy, man. Okay, for as iron rusted, so does he. Roughly paraphrasing it. But like I said, I believe that's Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 10. All right, so, this is what he do. This is what he get off on, okay? And when I heard, the fact that, it could be an animal like the swine, the pig, that, could potentially be the X factor that allows this thing to be transmissible amongst human to human, I'm like, that's right up Esau's alley, man. To do some type of splicing and mixing. I mean, this is what he does. Look at the food you eat, okay? The so-called GMO, where he takes out the seeds of the fruit, such as grapes. He does all these type of things. This is his expertise, okay? Splicing and dicing. All right? This is what he does. So this is Psalm 64 in verse 2. It says what? Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Right. And that's what we praying, and that's what we, having faith in, that when they do bring forth their secret counsel, that the Most High hides from us, okay? That he protects us and guides us from these, workers of iniquity. It says what? Who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Right. So they're not coming with, peace and tranquility. They're going to use that and tell you not to worry. That's the same play they used in the 2020, episode when they said nothing to worry. You will have it under control in a week or two. And then next thing you know, they kept kicking the can down the road. Okay. So you see the play after play, time after time, they use the same play. Okay, they just, package it and, disguise it in a new, modern or up-to-date version. Okay, this time it's the, the dairy. Okay, that time it was what? A so-called, wet market incident or something that was, had to do with, scientists in a control environment, okay? Trying to speak in, code, but that control environment, what it is, okay, where scientists go and they, do, studies and research, okay? L-A, and the last letter, okay? Not the A and not the C, but in between, all right? So this is what they do. This is how they get down, man. So Psalm 64:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Right, and that's all they do. They think about how can they perform iniquity, okay? So we have to be very, aware, okay? Slakia. Now the mass or the majority of the public, they hear this thing and they get fear. They get fearful, okay? But, us being in the truth, we understand, okay? There's nothing you can do to prevent prophecy, okay? If the Most High want to use this to bring forth this downfall of this kingdom, then so be it, all right? But we're not going to fear it because the Most High didn't give us a heart, a mind of fear, but of love and of power and of a sound mind, okay? So Psalm 64:6 reads, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So this is what they do. Okay, make no mistake about it. They search out. How can we go about bringing forth our agenda? Will the people buy or take a, narrative of cows and other, animals being able to potentially spread this amongst humans? That's a good narrative, okay? Because all you need is a transmissible, variant, and then next thing you know, hey, you can run that in your media, okay? And it can, it could breed or bring forth fear, okay? And that, along with other things that's going on, could, be the perfect storm to allow them to bring forth their, ultimate goal, okay? So things like this we have to be very, aware of, okay? Because it's not out of the realm of, possibility that he couldn't pull something like this off, okay? But the fact of the matter is that they talking about it allows you to know that what? Salakia, that, this could very much well be something that is being discussed behind these secret councils, okay? So just be aware of these things. So let's read that one more time. Psalm 64:6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. So before they have and allow certain information to be leaked and seeped out, they've already done their research. They know the drawback they're going to get. They know the skepticism that they're going to get. But still, they put it out there because why? They've already put into effect what they plan on doing, okay? It's not whether or not you're going to fight back. It's how much they're going to allow you to, observe or take in. Because make no mistake about it, they have the end game already, in sight, okay? They already know the end game, okay? And this time when they come around with it, you're going to see real results. Now, back in 2020, there was, skepticism whether or not it was a real issue. This time, hey, whatever they use to bring forth, you're going to see real results, okay? It's going to be no mistaking or no question whether or not this thing is real or not, all right? You was questioning it back in 2020, but this time when they shut it down, it's going to be no mistake, okay? You're going to see individuals dropping like flies left to right, all right? So they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. And this is what they do. They get deep into their thoughts, okay? They think about these things, all right? They don't just allow things to seep out like that, unaware. They know, they fully know, okay? And the fact that the guy said that, hey, a pig could be the very animal that is used is pretty much a telltale sign, okay? That's an unclean animal for an unclean act from an unclean individual, okay? Or should I say nation of people, all right? Who can make a clean thing, who can make a unclean thing clean? No, not one. These people are unclean, okay? It's in their nature. It's who they are, okay? So just thought I'd bring that out. Found that interesting, scrolling through, looking, seeing, and, checking out these videos on this thing. And like I said, I reported back on this back in March, Slovakia, when they first, brought it forth to the public attention, and like Gail said, it was just one state back in Texas, but now it's, spread to 9 different states, okay? The way it's spread from 9 different states, you can easily see it spreading from one, individual to, hundreds of thousands or even potentially millions, okay? So just beware. If it's not this, it could be something else, all right? Just continue to watch and be sober, all right? So let's finish up and close out with 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. It reads, be sober, be vigilant. Okay, continue to watch. You never can let your guard down. You never can let your guard down with this man. All right, he's doing his due diligence to work his iniquity. So we got to do our due diligence, okay, and report. Whether it doesn't even seem like it's something that's worth reporting, okay, just to put him on notice. All right, just to let the flock know that, hey, this man, he ain't taking time off, even though you haven't heard from him in a while. He's still, doing what he was hired to do, okay? Which is what? Be the wicked, all right? The wicked can't take off, man. This man is doing what he was hired to do, okay? So it says, be sober, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Right. He wake up in the morning when it's light, still thinking about iniquity. Go to bed thinking about iniquity. Okay, he's looking, all right, for whoever and however he can get off and do whatever it is that he needs to do. All right, so we got to continue to watch and be sober. All right, so with that being said, I pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.